Good morning and welcome. It is Friday, the 25th of March. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, coming up today, usual day, recap of yesterday, today's bets, normal staking day, £20, and then we'll have a word on the golf. Okay, yesterday. Those of you who've been watching a long time, you know the gig. Yesterday I gave you some tips, they worked out quite nicely. Today I come on and tell you words of caution. That's how this game works, okay? Yesterday was the good tips, today's the words of caution. I am on a train. This channel is a train, and the key thing about this train is it goes at the same speed. Regular stops, you can get off whenever you want, but it goes at the same speed. As soon as you start putting that accelerator down on that train, you are more likely to come off the rails. Catch my drift? Alright, so yesterday's bets. It was a decent day for the channel, so I was really pleased. I made it 20 on, 98.17 back is what I got, so 78.17 profit, mainly down to bet one. So bet one, the 1 o'clock at Huntingdon, second subaltern. So as most of you regular viewers will know from yesterday, that horse placed at 125 to 1. It was fortunate, there was a faller at the last which made it was third, not fourth. Sometimes you take the rub of the green because most of the time it does not go your way. So excellent result, and the most important thing here is we had it with something else, because the last time we had a really decent place like that, didn't have it with anything. So the 130 Huntington, that horse was a non-runner, and then we had the 155 at Chepstow, Outback Frontiers, 40s on the channel, backed into 28s. I said to you, in the second subaltern you could have got 200 the night before, and Outback Frontiers 80. It was just ridiculous, the value in those horses. So we had a place, so the channel bet was 125 SP on second subaltern, Outback Frontiers was 40 to 1. So nice little double with a non-runner, and then Cliffs of Deneen wasn't there. So a really good return on that bet. So excellent stuff from there. What I would say is, with these massive prices, I'm sure now those of you who've been watching a long enough time I'm not just sticking my finger in a wind and going, oh, I like a big price, I'll stick that on my channel today. We aren't just having one odd big day that makes our figures look good. We keep hitting every now and again, and in the last few weeks it's been one day every week where we've had a really decent day. It might not always be like that, by the way. We'll definitely have periods of time where we go longer without a win, and all I'm feeling like now is I'm building up some sentiment credit with you guys that you accept that it will go slow at one point. But those big price horses, they're not there every day, and the fact we've had two on this channel and they've both landed has been immense, because I'll put out prices and different things, and sometimes I have put other big prices out, but as you'll know, that one and the 250 to 1, they're the two that I've put the most emphasis on. But I try and do that with real caution, because when I've got those horses, what I don't want is anyone to go really silly and speed up their train and end up going off the rails. So it's great, some of you have done some little extra bets and you made some few quid off that. And one of you yesterday messaged to say that you'd picked three of the best, got them in together and cashed out before the fourth leg failed, and made a really tidy profit. So where were we? Bet two. Alright, bet two, we had two place, but only if you're on Sky Bet was one of them. So Pearl of the West was disappointed. It was frustrating in that race. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm frustrated on that race. Not with that horse. And 355, likeable chance that it was sixth. Sky Bet, I think, were the only ones who paid it. We then had 425, what you're going to call a 14 to 1. That was ninth, so it was a way down. That was that. And then 455, Highland Penny. To be completely honest, I was watching the race. I was out and about and I was watching the race. And I was watching it with no volume, and I got really mixed up with the colours, so I thought that got a beat, and then I realised it was placed, so that was delightful. In SP to 28, so we only had it 16s on the channel, so we had a 40 and 16 to 1 double on the channel, but if you took SPs with Sky Bet, you'd have got a much better result from that. So that was good. And then bet free, just a bit disappointing really. We did have an unseat in there, but generally it was disappointing. So, as I said, decent day. That puts us nicely in profit for the week again, because we were behind. So nicely in profit for the week. Overall, that result, and reminder, the results are always as the best they are straight after a decent win. So there's a big caveat here. But if you bet all the horse bets on the channel since we started, right now we're running at 25% profit, and smidgen over that. Channel total is about 22.5, I think, because we're not getting the same yield from the golf, because the golf's got a little bit behind. So 25% just on horse bets, 22.5 on all bets. So decent enough. All right, what have I got today? I've got 3 bets, 3 lucky 15s, very similar to yesterday. So we've got 12 horses. I've had to do a lot of chopping and changing this morning with some non-runners that were in the bets and non-runners that were causing other issues. So I'm happy where we've got to, and this is what I got. So for this afternoon, here's our 4. We've got the 155 Newton Abbot. Sky bet a 5 on that. Most bookies are 4, I think. Check It's Me, 7-1. We've got the 420 Musselburgh. Just watch on that one. So literally, I did the bets, checked them before the video, and that one already had a non-runner in the race. So I've got 17-2 for the channel, but I'm already due a 10p Rule 4 deduction. So that's bluery.com, 17-2. And then the 330 Musselburgh, Ruby 2, we've had that a lot of times on the channel, and it's done better more times than it hasn't. So we go Ruby 2, 14-1. And then the 355 Hereford, no extra places in this race, Overhorse Street, 20-1. So that's a straightforward 20 pence each way lucky 15. That's the first one. That's bet 1, that's this afternoon's bet. And then we've got 2 later on. So bet 2 is today's Dundalk special. This is what I've got. Regular viewers, you know, we're making a profit on these bets, but they can look hero or zero quite easily. On Wednesday, we had a winner in the first leg, and then nothing followed up. So today's Dundalk special, 5 o'clock, Elathura 14s, 5:30 Effenock Fizz 28s, 6 o'clock, 5 on Sky Bet on that one, Scarlet Seymour 20s, and 7 o'clock Amperson 28-1. Amperson's the one for me with the most value in this race. So for those of you who like a single bet, you know, these are all fine for a single bet, but Amperson is the one that's got the most value. 20p each way, lucky 15, and then we're doing a 50p each way double on the bottom 2. So an additional 50p each way double on Scarlet Seymour and Amperson. That is bet 2. And then bet 3 is a bit more of a mishmash, lucky 15. All right, what we've got here. So top one, that was my last minute replacement. It was on my reserve list because there was some better opportunities, but I've had an on-runner and I've stuck in this one in. So it's the 450 Newton Abbot, and Sky Bet have gone 4 on this. I haven't checked, but I don't think anyone else is going to be 4. But what a stunner, unraced, really good pedigree, and so I'm taking that to do decent enough on debut to get in the frame. So it's always risky when you're backing a horse that has never run before, but we're giving that a go today. What a stunner, 20-1. And then we've got the 540 Newcastle Palazzo 10-1. 8 o'clock Dundalk. This is my absolute headache race. So I'll come back to that. But we've got 8 o'clock. We've got McCliff 6-1, and then 8:15 Nelly French. Some really really decent value in that price. 8:15. So best probably 2 of the day, I would say Nelly French and Amperson for value, and just be super clear. For new people, when I say value, I don't mean that horse is going to win. It's the best horse. I'm saying it's the difference between how I think the price should be in the market compared to how it is the biggest difference. There was more value, and that was the situation yesterday with that 125-1 horse. I didn't think it was a brilliant thing that was going to do great, but the difference between where it should have been marked up in the bookies and where it was ridiculous. Okay, we've got a 20p each way lucky 15, and we've got a 50p each way double on the 2 Newcastle horses. Just a word on this 8 o'clock Dundalk. 2 things I want to flag on there. One, I had 2 horses ahead of that I really liked, both non-runners, both big prices, really frustrating. McCliff is more of a solid option in that race, but you will see in that 8 o'clock, for those people who've been on a while, there's a horse called Maestro Stick, and we've had it the last 2 times it's run at 50-1, and I think it's been unlucky, and I said we'll back it next time. Maestro Stick opened last night at 33-1 in the betting, and it's now 4-1. Now, that is not a bet. So whether that horse wins or not, and it could well win, I would not take that bet at 4-1. Tens was my ceiling on that horse, on Maestro Stick. So I'm flagging it to you to say that I'd had said we were going to back it. But you have to walk away when the value's not there. And even if that horse goes and wins well, it's not a bet for me. And within this situation, you have to just accept sometimes if the value isn't there, don't get stuck on what you were going to do in the first place. 4-1, it's not a bet. It needs to be tens for me to take that bet on Maestro Stick. And I guess linked to that, what I would say is from yesterday, because again, it was one of those situations where the first bit of a bet went well, and the last bit, we nearly won a lot more than that. We've had a few decent wins on the channel between £80 and £130. We haven't got anything landed bigger than that yet. And I know people will be like, oh, we could have won this, we could have won that. You can't live life like that. Accept what you've got. Yesterday, we put £20 on. If you did exactly what I did, you put £20 on and you got 98 back. That's £78 you didn't have the day before. And accept that that is a good day. And I know that's hard for sometimes for some people, and people go thinking, wow, what if we put extra more money on or whatever. It is what it is. Today's a new day. That's what I've got. And the important thing is, from the beginning of the video, this train goes at the same speed. And you should also go at the same speed, because when you go faster, you go off the rails. Okay, golf. Word on the golf. Mixed really. Match play. We've got Kisner and Noren doing decent. They've got to really probably win the match today, I think. They might get away with it if it was a small loss. And that's them qualified. So we'll see how we go. So they're the two to watch. The other two have not going to qualify in the next round. And then the other ones are a bit disappointing. Hudson Swafford's not good, doing well, and in the Qatar Masters we're not doing so well in that either. So match play is probably where the focus of energy, and we'll see how the last group games go this afternoon, heading for the weekend. So fingers crossed, Alex Noren and Kevin Kisner keep going the way they're going, and we'll have a decent day. All right, back to tomorrow. My expectation is it will be a bigger day tomorrow. It's the Lincoln Handicap, which I love. Really, really like the Lincoln Handicap. There's a decent meeting at Meydan. So I'm imagining I'm going to come on tomorrow and probably say it's stake and a half. But I'm not sure. We'll see. Because there is some disappointing field sizes at Doncaster, actually. The Lincoln's obviously decent, but then the Spring Mile, which is normally like the secondary race, it's only got like 10 runners, I think. Normally that's a 20 horse race every year, so that's disappointing. Anyway, that's tomorrow. You have a good day. Don't go and blow any money you won yesterday, and I will see you in the morning. Thanks.